When it comes to your health, early detection can be life-saving. Cutting-edge tests are helping patients catch serious conditions before symptoms even start. Dr. Samira Umat from Longevity Medical Clinic is here to share more about the blood test that could save your life. Welcome back to New Day.
Thank you for having me. So nice to be here.
Oh, nice to have you. So we're talking about specific blood tests. All of these aren't part of like a typical blood panel. Is that correct when you go to the doctor?
That is correct. Yeah, it is. Not only is it important, it is easy to get these tests done. They are part of a typical panel. But if you want to set goals for yourself, for your immediate and future health, and keep that on a trajectory that you want, then you must know these numbers. You must repeat them and measure them frequently so you can correct problems that are arising over time. Because as we get older, it becomes harder and the numbers change. And in reality, as per the American College of Cardiology, the statistics are, this is very harsh, 93.2% of Americans have metabolic dysfunction, which means that less than 7% of us do not have metabolic dysfunction. That is very hard to understand and digest, but the important thing is that numbers make a difference. If you know, then you can actually take steps to prevent that.
And we all want that. So we have some tests we want to get to. First up is the Longevity Medical Clinic initial blood draw. What is this test and why should we get it?
We do a huge panel as our initial blood draw. It includes a metabolic panel, which includes liver and kidney function testing, as well as protein and calcium level. A complete blood test, which includes your white cells, your platelet counts, tells us whether you're anemic or not. Inflammation markers are critical. A high sensitivity C-reactive protein along with a homocysteine level is critical to know. A ferritin is added to that because it can be a pro-inflammatory marker. We do deep dive into insulin, hemoglobin A1C, as well as glucose level for metabolic dysfunction. Lipid analysis is very important. It's not just okay to know your total cholesterol, you need to know your LDL and your HDL and the cholesterol to HDL ratio, as well as your triglyceride levels. And then we do a deep dive into your hormonal cascade. So the thyroid panel is not just a TSH, it is a free T4 and a free T3. Along with that, the hormones are not just estradiol and progesterone, they include your FSH, your LH levels, as well as DHEA and pregnenolone, along with progesterone, testosterone. And in testosterone, it's not just testosterone, it has to be free and total testosterone, again for both men and women. It's not just for men alone.
Okay.
And then once we have an idea of this, then we can tell you about your placement and where you stand. We also do a nutritional analysis, so we measure your vitamin B12 and your vitamin D levels too. So this is just our initial blood panel. Once we have an idea about this, then we do a deeper dive into what is affecting you and what your problems are.
Ooh, okay. And the next test I want to talk about, the Galleri test. What is this test for and why should we get it?
The Galleri test is called a liquid biopsy. It is a single blood test that will detect more than 50 different types of cancers.
Oh.
So it's a paradigm shift. If you are suspected to have lung cancer, we look at the lungs. If you're suspected to have prostate cancer, we do a PSA and we do imaging of the prostate. But if you don't know where the cancer is and you're trying to find one, there's only one way to know with a blood test. So with one single blood draw, we look and screen for more than 50 different types of cancers. Cancers will spew out cell-free DNA, depending upon where they are, how aggressive they are, and what their blood flow is, into the blood. If you can pick up that cell-free DNA, then the algorithm goes through an AI machine and it tells us where this is coming from. So that once we draw the blood and we have a positive signal, then we look to see where is it coming from so that we can then target that area, home in, and look for the tumor in that area. And many times we find people that have looked in that area, not seen it, found it when they looked again. The important thing is this picks up many cancers. It picks them up early.
So important.
Because early detection makes a difference between survival. You pick it up early, 5-year survival is 9 out of 10.
Amazing.
If you pick it up late, once it's spread, then the mortality rate is much higher. And then you can know where it is and you can target that area. And it picks up cancers that are not easily detected, cancers for which we have no screening currently, like pancreatic cancer.
Okay, and our last test, the Cleveland Heart Lab test.
Yes.
Tell me about this one.
This is very important because heart disease is the #1 killer in the United States today. And if we're going to tackle it, not only do we need to know what your total cholesterol is, we need to know, is the lining of the endothelium thickened, and is it going to rupture the plaque? Is there any genetic predisposition for you? What are your ApoB markers? And we have customized this in our clinic for longevity patients where we actually know what your omega level is. You've heard many times that saturated fat is bad for you and omega-3s are good for you, but do you really know where you are at?
No.
You need to.
I need to. And this test could help. Oh my gosh.
We have saved countless lives based on this test.
Wow.
People that have said they didn't know. For example, the genetic marker lipoprotein a, it is present in 1 in 5 people worldwide.
Amazing. Thank you so much, doctor, for being here. This was so important, such great information.
Thank you for having me.
And as Dr. Umat mentioned, Longevity's Heart Health Fair event runs through September 29th through October 3rd. You can call and schedule to make an appointment.
New Day Northwest is sponsored by Longevity Medical.